Have you ever wondered how long it actually takes to see results from your training? If you've been going to the gym or training consistently for a few months now, and you're feeling a bit demotivated because you haven't gotten that physique that you've been dreaming of, don't worry, because that's completely normal, as it can take a lot longer to actually get the results that you're expecting. But that doesn't mean that you'll never get there. There's different ways that we can look at tracking in the early stages of the gym to make sure that we're getting that little sparks of progress here and there and that bits of motivation that come along with that to help keep us on track, consistent towards our goals. A lot of the initial progress that you might see when you first get into the gym come from the neurological changes that go on. What I mean by that is that it's the changes that come with learning the technique and the form required to do movements. Say for example, you're going and doing bench press. At first, you might not exactly know where your elbows need to sit, you don't know where to grip, you don't really know how to push up, you might be pushing down towards your legs. And as you get better with the form and technique, you'll find that you often feel stronger and better at the movement, and then that's when you slowly increase the weight. Those changes are those neurological changes. You're getting better at the form and technique, and it happens with all exercises throughout your training. It can sometimes even happen to experienced lifters if they've been doing one exercise for a really long time and then they change it up into a new exercise they haven't done before. You can get that same change going on. But for beginners, that real nice 4 to 6 week stage of really just learning the new form and technique required for these exercises, that's when we can see that real big bump in progress straight away. Now that doesn't mean that's a physique change, as you're not really going to instantly be like, whoa, why am I getting better at bench press? Oh wow, look at my pecs, they're massive. No, it's just that neurological change. The visual muscle changes can sort of depend on, obviously your nutrition matters a lot, also your training and the way that you're training, but also your recovery. But usually for people getting into the gym and staying on a nice consistent routine, about 8 to 12-ish weeks you can start seeing some physical changes going on. If that's just maybe a little bit more definition here and there, maybe you're able to activate and tensor muscle a little bit more, those physical changes can slowly start to come in. But that dream physique that you might be chasing, if you want to get those Arnold biceps, or you want a really big chest, or you want some nice muscles in your back, those changes, unfortunately, they're going to take you some time. Obviously, if you jump onto the juice, which I'm definitely not recommending you do, if you jump onto that, that's a surefire way to get there a bit quicker, but you're going to run into a whole bunch of other issues along with that. But that dream physique will come if you stay consistent and dedicated. It's just not going to come in that first 8 to 12 weeks of working out consistently. But that's where the journey really gets enjoyable, as you slowly see the changes start to unfold. And like I said, so many different factors can really affect the time that it takes to get those physical changes, those strength changes. A lot of things change depending on what your nutrition like, what's your recovery like, your genetics as well. Understanding that now is when you want to look at setting different types of goals. What I mean by that is you can look at the long-term goals of that dream physique or those numbers that you really want to hit in the gym. And then you look at the current goals that you might be able to attain in that year. Say that that's maybe making your shoulders just look a little bit more defined, maybe working on your core a little bit more, making your legs look a little bit bigger, or maybe crunching those numbers on your bench press, really hammering out your squat, getting that number up. It's about those smaller goals that progress you towards that long-term goal. You're getting the current success right now, but the delayed success as well later on. You're setting yourself up in a really good spot. And now, results and goals, they don't look the same for every situation or everyone. For example, people might be chasing heavier lifts. They want those numbers to go up. Others might be chasing that dream physique. They want to get their biceps big, their chest big, their back big. Others might be wanting to get proficient in a certain exercise. Normally see that with a lot of calisthenic people. They want to get really good at doing handstand push-ups or something like that. And then there's also the goals of just wanting to be better, confident in the gym. Really become proficient at their routine, really understand how their body moves, what it enjoys. Maybe if it's just being consistent enough to go 3 times a week to the gym. And that's where we come into different ways to really track your progress, as understanding different ways to track your progress can help with really understanding that you're still progressing. You might not be seeing the instant results that you want. Say that's maybe getting the 100 kilo bench press. You might not be getting 100 kilos straight away, but you're slowly getting stronger, adding maybe 500 grams, a kilo every now and then. You're slowly working towards that, tracking that progress. One of the best and classic ways to really track your progress is just tracking your workouts. That could be with your reps, your sets, your weight. Tracking those can really tell you and show that you're on the right track. Say that you add an extra rep this week compared to last week. That's progress. Next week you come in, if you can get the same amount of numbers, that's still progress because you're showing that you're consistently staying at that strength. Then the next week after that, you add another rep. Those are signs of progress. Same thing with the numbers. You're chucking up the numbers, your weight's getting heavier. Or say that you're able to add an extra set. Say that you normally do 3 sets on the tricep push down, and then you're like, hey, let's do another set. You hammer out the 4th set, you feel strong. There you go, that's progress. Other ways to track your progress can be measurements. If you want to get a tape measure, wrap it around your bicep, measure it, and then every month at the same sort of time, maybe end of the month, you measure those biceps again, see if you've gone up. That's another way to track your progress. Another great way to track your progress is progress photos. These are heavily underrated, I feel. As if you just take a progress photo once a month, say at the end of the month, and you just do that consistently over time, sure, January might not look different to February, but January compared to November is gonna look different. I did it for about the first year and a half of my training, and I really regret not actually continuing it because it really helps keep you motivated. When you look back, you're like, oh, I've got 6 months of photo. Let me go back to month 1, and you do a side by side, and you just see those small differences coming in. If you've got the money, another way to track your progress is doing something like a DEXA scan, where you're able to see your body fat percentage, your muscle mass. Those sort of things can really show that you're moving in the right direction as well, but that's a bit more nuanced in the way of, obviously, it costs a fair bit of money to go do sometimes, and you might not have the facilities nearby. Another way to track your progress is just in your lifestyle. You might be feeling more energized in the day. You might get to the gym and feel ready to go, more amped and all that. You might be sleeping better. You might wake up feeling more recovered. That's progress as well. And say that you know that your recovery is lacking and you're not getting the progress you want because maybe you're only sleeping 5 hours. If you're able to up that to 6 hours, sure, that's not progress directly in the gym, but you're getting an extra bit of sleep. You've progressed in making sure that your recovery is better, which in turn will make your results better. Don't underestimate the small wins. The small stuff can really help in making sure that you're feeling good and on the right track. Say you're doing squat and you might be squatting 80 kilos and you're feeling stuck there. You're feeling like you're really stuck. You don't always need to slap on a 5 or 10 kilo plate. If you can add 1 kilo extra each side, you might only get 9 reps when you're trying to get 10 reps. That's still great progress because maybe next week you'll come back and you get those 10 reps. That's still progress. Sure, you haven't jumped up in the big numbers that you want to, but slow and steady. Those small wins over time stack up to be big wins. Results don't happen overnight. They take time and consistency. If you stick with your solid routine, you show up, you get the work done, you try your best, the results will come. You have to put the effort in. Find different ways to track. Make sure that you're moving in the right direction. Trust me, it will make a world of difference. Take your time and you will end up getting to the results that you want. I really hope this video was able to help shed some light on results. How long it might take to get that dream physique, but also not being discouraged, knowing that there's going to be results along the way to help motivate you, keep you going, keep you disciplined, keep you consistent. If there's any other ways to track progress that you might think of that I haven't mentioned, please comment it down below as it might help somebody on their journey. If you want any extra help on your journey as well, in the description there will be a link to my emailing list where you'll get 33 tips over 33 days that will make you thrive in your health in 33 ways. I thank you all very much for taking the time to watch this video. I hope it was able to help you, and I'll catch you all in the next one.